Well, first things first, Adrian, how's the ear?
It hurt. It really didn't start hurting until after they drained it. Like the only thing that like was bothering me is it just felt heavy. But once they drained it, man, I was like, like right now, like the clamps on it, it was just, yeah. No, I'm just like, hey, I'm ready for this to be over. If we can just cut the ear off, I'd be completely fine with that too.
I'm not gonna lie, it's not a good look for you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the fight, man? Obviously, it's a step up in competition. Davey Grant's a really good fighter. Had some tough moments for you, but you had some great moments too. How did you feel about the fight?
I felt really good in the fight. Like I felt like I was able to outclass him in a lot of places. Like I felt like with the boxing, the straight hands, like he just really couldn't get to me. He was able to hit my ear a couple times, but other than that, the only problem that he probably gave me was like just the kicks, if anything, like the teep kicks, the couple of calf kicks he was able to land. There was a good inside cut kick that he did that like pretty much cut my base out from underneath me and made me fall like twice, I think. Yeah. So he did a good job. It's just that like I'm really good at making adjustments and seeing what he was throwing. Like I could see everything that he was throwing. It's just that the kicks, like I didn't think him backing with him backing up, I didn't think he would throw as much kicks because he when he's on his back foot, he really doesn't really throw any kicks, but he was throwing kicks with me, so I was like, oh damn, like I got to make the adjustments now.
You read the spins very well as well, like with.
Oh yeah. I got a lot of good training partners that love to spin, so I just immediately knew. And then in my corner, I kept hearing them say like, just watch out for the spin. Like, oh yeah, I know, I see it.
30-27 was one of the judges' scorecard. That's a bit of a weird one, right?
Yeah, no, I'm still upset about that one because they're like, man, like if I heard 30-27, I thought it would be for me. And honestly, I felt like that was a unanimous decision either way. Like, I don't see how another judge can score all those, like, all three of those rounds for Davey. Like, I don't know. Was he asleep? What's going on, man? Like, it really irritated me because I'm just like, dude, that was a hard-fought win for me. I felt like I was landing the cleaner shots, a lot more in the boxing stand-up and everything. And I felt like I just outclassed him in that sense, but he was a good, tough fighter. A lot of the punches that he threw didn't land. They were hitting on the shoulders. I was weaving out of a lot of them. Like I don't know. I just don't know what he was looking at.
Ironically enough, I think that guy's actually a boxing judge, so you think he would be better at seeing stuff.
Yeah, you would think, but I would hope. Like I don't know. That it just really kind of like pisses me off because if another judge were to think like him, I'd be walking home with half my paycheck, and that would really piss me off.
Yeah, I can imagine. In terms of your career now, is this one of those fights where you walk away learning something? Did you learn something about yourself today, fighting a guy like Davey?
Yeah, I'm always learning something for myself in a fight. Like especially this one, with just how the training camp was, and just how like emotional this one was, like with everything that went on. Man, like it just kind of just solidified that what my coach and what my dad have been telling me this whole, like what they've told me their entire life, like whenever I was with them, they just believed in me and they knew I could do this. And the fact that I was able to go out there and do it, like, was just one of those moments for me that I was like, yeah, I just gotta keep believing in myself. And sometimes it's kind of hard, especially whenever you got the guy that brought you up not there for you, and you just kind of have those doubts. So the fact that I was able to go in there and just like shadow all doubts within myself and just kind of just go in there and fight, you know, I was able to learn that, like, it's just one of those things that I also kind of had to keep relearning because I've been through tougher spots, but you know, and then also too, just the ring time is also great.
I think you know that you're starting to make waves in your career when you start getting people calling you out. Sean O'Malley wants to fight you in March.
Oh yeah, sure, maybe. Yeah, whatever. Whatever. Yeah, I would definitely fight Sean O'Malley. He's just like right now he says he wants to try to get a ranked opponent and all that stuff, but yet he's dodging all these other ranked opponents. He'll say so. Let's dive into that one right quick. All right. So Sean O'Malley says, okay, let me go out there, let me fight a top-ranked opponent. But then he gets Thomas Almeida, who was on the shelf for like a couple years. And then he was already on a loss streak, and then he knocks him out. But it takes him 3 rounds to do it. The guy who's coming off the couch, yeah, you know, talk about that. And then also Eddie Wineland, who was also kind of just like off the couch for a long time, already at the tail end of his career, knocks him out. Okay, all right, cool. That kind of doesn't get no play, doesn't really like give no browning points for me. You know, if you go out there and you start someone like Davy Grant can take a shot. It can take a hard shot. And it's like, man, and you go against someone who is like a fighter like Cheeto. You go against Cheeto, and then he goes out there and kind of just plays with them and toys with them and just knocks them out on the ground. You know, it's like I don't know. There's ups and downs with that, man. And then also too, whenever he fought Chris Moutinho, he had the chance to fight a guy I think who was ranked at the time, Ricky Simone. He had the chance to fight him, but then doesn't fight him. So I don't know. It's something, you know. But also, I'd be down to fight him. I don't care. They had to pay me. They had to pay me more. He's always about the money. I am about the money too, because I got a family I got to feed. Adrian
Yanez with the receipts over.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like I study. Like I watch all of the fights. So I'm making sure that like, hey, if you're gonna call me out, then I don't know. We got something. Because a lot of people have already been telling me. Like, Twitter's been blowing up about me fighting Sean O'Malley and all that stuff, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, he fights a guy named Chris Moutinho who is a 25er, and he moves up last second, and, like, of course he's supposed to look good against a guy like that who's taking it last second like that, you know, moving up from a weight class. Yeah, whatever.
It's funny, man. I always feel this way. Like when you before the fight, you're like so nice and sweet, and then after you fight, you have a bit of a swagger to you, and you can just see it.
Oh no, I don't know. I think it's just I don't know. Just something just rubs me wrong. I like getting called out. Kind of brings like the testosterone out of me. I'm just like, oh, he wants to fight. Like yeah, that's what happens right now. But honestly, like Sean O'Malley does have skills, but it's just the opponents that he's been fighting. You know, a lot of them like. They could be a lot better, especially like if he's been saying he's been trying to get a ranked opponent and try to fight. He's over here calling out Peter Yan and all these guys. So you know, hey, like fight a ranked opponent first, you know. But hey, you know, if he's calling me out, that puts me in the same name as all those guys. So I don't care.
I love it. Congrats, man.
Thank you,
Adrian. Man, so I mean, after your win, you kind of just collapsed to the ground, and it was just raw emotion. Kind of just talk about that, man.
Yeah, it was just one of those moments where it just kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, and I kind of felt like that was gonna come too. Like this whole entire fight week and just the whole entire like time I was here, I just felt it. Like I was even telling my training partner Cameron the whole entire time, I was like, I have no time to like kind of just like think about anything. I just have to go and go. Like I don't have to stop to think about anything. A lot of things are happening in life, and then also just like with me, like just training, coaching, doing all these things, like it's hard, man. It's really hard. You kind of really get no time to sit back and reflect. So after this fight, like I was telling, I was like, I am gonna focus on myself a little bit and just kind of just like make sure I'm good, make sure the fighters are good, and just like not be a fighter for a little bit, you know. But I knew from the second that the fight was over, I knew that was going to happen. Like even my training partner, like I said earlier, I told my training partner that was exactly what was going to happen.
Did it feel kind of relieving?
It felt really relieving. Yes, it's like, man, whenever you just like have all this pent up emotion inside you, and you just like kind of just like de-stress and just like kind of just let everything out, of course you're gonna feel amazing, man. That's holding it in and just holding stuff back, man. It's not good for you, man. Mental health is real, and you want to make sure that you're keeping your mental health on check. And because like whenever you don't keep it on check and you're just constantly keeping everything pent up, that's when you get those outward aggressions. That's when you start like not acting like yourself. You start getting out of character. And for this fight, I definitely wanted to be in character because, man, you get someone like Davy Grant in front of you, you get out of character, man, you're asleep. So yeah, of course that was the main thing, staying in character, and also just making sure after the fight I deal with everything.
And then you know you were saying if you were going to knock out, you'd go with the knockout king. So are we going with Apex Adrian?
I'm gonna leave that up to Twitter right now. I'm gonna leave that up to Instagram, all those social media guys. Like I said, I can't. I'm not the guy that's gonna be like, oh no, you got to call me Hands of Stone. No, I'm this guy. Nah, I'm not that. Like I'm not gonna give myself a nickname. You know, it's up to Twitter and everybody else to give me nicknames. And if that. The one that I liked the most was Mr. Knockout, and just because it has the ring to it, And I was for sure going to keep it if I knocked out Davy Grant. I was going to be like, no, it's solidified. I'm trademarking it and everything. But nah, I didn't get it. So, man, damn, I still got to search for something.
And just two more from, you know, you got all knockouts in your UFC career so far, except for this one. Does it feel nice to know that you can go 15 minutes, right? I mean, you've gone 15 minutes on the regional scene, but now you've gone 15 minutes in the UFC.
Oh yeah, I've gotten 25 minutes on the regional scene with someone like Miles Johns, you know. So that's you know, I'd never had like issues with my cardio or anything like that. But getting the ring time was great. You know, I got into the third round with Gustavo Lopez and all that. It's a cool feeling getting the rounds in, you know, and it's pretty cool. But also, like, I don't like being in there too long. You know, I'd rather just knock them out and get it over with and collect another check. You know, I always love that. So I'm hoping this fight was Fight of the Night worthy.
And then finally, just I know you like to shout out MMA Twitter, so I just want to know if you have a message for MMA Twitter.
Oh man, thank y'all so much. Y'all help push me and like push all my fights. Like it's crazy. MMA Twitter makes it so much fun to like get on whenever the UFC is on, because they say like some of it's outlandish, some of it's like funny. They have jokes, they have memes, and I love all of it, man. You got people like Mac Malley on there just going nuts, and people like Booger Beard and all that. It's pretty hilarious. I love it.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats on the win, Adrian.
Oh, thank you.
Upper body movement, footwork, rolling with the shots, living the punches. It looked like Silva taking on Forrest Griffin there. You're your hardest critic. From a scale of 1 to 10, how did you do tonight?
Man, I can always do better. Like I know the push kicks that he was throwing, the teep kicks that he was throwing to my solar plex. I know I needed to defend that better, and I should have prepared better for it. You know, I should have done a lot more. I should have been checking more kicks. I should have been moving a little bit more. The kicks were pretty much the biggest problem of the fight, you know, and I should have done more. But overall, I'm happy with my performance. But at the same time, I'm gonna go back and I have to sit back and actually watch to see where he was catching my kicks at. Because when I heard in the corner, it was whenever I was using my head movement. That's whenever they wanted to started throwing the low kicks. Because like if his head's not there, his leg's there, and I got to see when those moments were so I can start addressing some of that.
Excellent. And just to co-sign on that, if you do see Sean in the future, that's going to be fireworks. Hopefully you don't get that judge that gave the other guy the...
Oh, yeah, no, I hope I don't get that judge ever again, man. He doesn't know what he's looking at.
Y para tus fans latinos que te siguen y de cualquier parte del mundo, un mensaje de tu desempeño esta noche y le brindaste a tu entrenador el triunfo.
Man, gracias por todo, man. It means the world to me that they watch me. Estoy enseñando más en español porque yo quiero hablar más con todos, con mis fans, y no me siento bien cuando no puedo hablar mucho español para ellos. So estoy enseñando. So sorry, I'm trying to learn because I hate not being able to talk to my fans in Spanish. So estoy enseñando para ustedes. Gracias por todo.
Buen hecho, man. Poco por poco. Felicidades.